Explosion sounds are shaking everything, flames and smoke are filling the sky. On the Toretsk front, ground assaults never stop. Azov Brigade warriors are advancing meter by meter, pushing Russian lines backward, seizing more positions with every moment. This determination, this unbreakable will is unfolding right before your eyes right now. As the relentless ground pressure continues without pause, tension keeps rising, Russians are being cornered, forced to retreat. Right in the middle of this intensity, air support kicks in, drones in the sky lock onto targets, scattering convoys with precise strikes, armored vehicles are taken out one by one, tanks burst into flames, roads become littered with wreckage. Every hit is more devastating, more effective, Russian losses mount rapidly, abandoned vehicles and immobilized armor are seen everywhere. These images are an incredible display of power. Ukraine's technological superiority and coordination reveal themselves in every second. The ground advance shows no signs of slowing. Azov teams instantly capitalize on the opportunities created by this air support, moving into new positions, cutting supply lines. Fuel carriers and ammunition vehicles are targeted one after another, explosions continue in chain reactions, flames burn for a long time, personnel carriers are torn apart, entire convoys are completely scattered. Chaos reigns on the Russian side, units abandon their positions, lines collapse one by one. Azov fighters, however, maintain this momentum, intensifying the ground pressure, securing every meter more firmly and decisively. Drone strikes boost morale to the highest level, every sound of destruction echoes like a piece of victory. The flow of these combined operations is unstoppable, intense ground pressure merges with precise strikes from the air, melting away Russian armored strength. Tank turrets are blown into the sky, wheels are ripped off, wreckage blocks the roads. In a single day, dozens of vehicles are neutralized, supply lines are completely severed. Azov forces fill these gaps, expanding the area with counterattacks, rapidly shifting the frontline balance in Ukraine's favor. Airstrikes come one after another, every dive brings a new target, a new destruction, columns of smoke rise, flames light up the night. This scene feels like one of the turning points of the war. The Toretsk sector is moving forward exactly in this rhythm right now, unrelenting ground moves supported by uninterrupted air assistance. Russian convoys can no longer move safely, wherever they gather, they are hit. Ammunition loads explode, chain reactions create massive fireballs. Azov's drone operators work with perfect coordination, every target is eliminated with maximum impact. On the ground, the fighters use this advantage. Clearing streets, strengthening positions. Morale rises higher with every strike, Russian losses accumulate, retreats accelerate, territory is reclaimed step by step. The intense tempo in these images shows the true strength of the war, the combination of technology and courage is repelling the occupying force. Armor is melting away, tanks are burning, vehicles lie motionless, every destruction is another victory for Ukraine's resistance. The Azov Brigade never stops, constantly increasing the pressure. Air and ground units move in flawless synchronization, this advance is reshaping the front line, hope grows with every second, the scent of victory spreads through the air. As ground assaults continue, airstrikes remain relentless, Russians are at a loss, their lines are stretching thin, losses are multiplying. Azov, on the other hand, grows stronger and more determined. Every explosion, every flame becomes a new source of motivation. These heroes fight without pause for freedom. The images coming from Toretsk are the strongest proof of the resistance. This struggle, waged by Ukraine and its affiliated special forces units, is growing stronger every day. The clashes on the Toretsk front are causing the Russian army to pay heavy prices against the Azov Brigade. These losses are concentrated in military personnel and equipment, while the financial damage reaches billions of dollars, and the psychological collapse accelerates retreats and surrenders. According to general war data, as of the end of 2025, Russia's total personnel losses have exceeded 1.2 million, with a significant portion occurring in hot spots like Toretsk. For example, reports from 2025 indicate tens of thousands of casualties in this sector alone, creating panic in Russian lines, leaving soldiers demotivated, and causing commanders to waste elite units with rigid attitudes. Surrenders are increasing. For instance, in Azov's basement clearing operations, events like the capture of 23 Russian soldiers have been reported, strengthening intelligence flow while further breaking Russian morale. As prisoner numbers rise on the front, supply problems deepen, weakening the lines. Military losses are not limited to manpower. Equipment destructions are also paralyzing Russian logistics. In the Toretsk-Pokrovsk sector, Russia has lost hundreds of vehicles, tanks bursting into flames with turrets flying off, armored vehicles turning into scrap with wheels detached, convoys scattering, and dozens of vehicles neutralized in a single day. These losses are shifting the front balance in Ukraine's favor, with Russian advances partially reversed and routes cut in directions like New York. These tactics are affecting the overall flow of the war. Regarding financial damage, Russia's total war cost has reached hundreds of billions of dollars by the end of 2025, compounded by equipment losses in regions like Toretsk. Each destroyed tank means millions of dollars in damage, with armored vehicles and ammunition convoys vanishing in chain explosions. This financial burden is straining Russia's economy. Efforts to mobilize 50 to 60,000 soldiers monthly in 2025 are falling short, as most are untrained and suffer heavy losses. The psychological dimension is the most critical. Russian soldiers are sent into assaults without prior reconnaissance and with ammunition shortages, effectively accepting losses in advance according to written reports. Soldiers feel abandoned, leaving behind equipment, maps, and radios in rapid retreats, with bases abandoned in panic. These images signal not just one front but the entire war's strategic fractures. Russian plans are collapsing one by one, with declining motivation leading soldiers to make escape plans. This situation is evident in Azov's basement and building clearing operations, where Russians cannot gain superiority in close-quarters combat. Prisoners are interrogated, accelerating the intelligence cycle, and cases like the 23 prisoner events seen in recent videos are spreading. These analyses show that Russian losses are creating strategic depth. Front developments are changing the course of the war, with Russians continuing to take heavy blows. The clashes on the Toretsk front are causing the Russian army to pay heavy prices. These losses are concentrated in military personnel and equipment, while the financial damage reaches billions of dollars, and the psychological collapse accelerates retreats and surrenders. According to data from the Ukrainian General Staff, as of late December 2025, Russia's total personnel losses in the war have exceeded approximately 1,202,000, killed and wounded, with a significant portion occurring in hot spots like Toretsk. Throughout the year, Russian forces have suffered tens of thousands of dead and wounded in the Toretsk sector alone. This creates panic in the lines, leaves soldiers demotivated, and increases surrenders. Events like captured Russian soldiers in basement clearing operations strengthen intelligence flow while deepening the morale collapse. As prisoner numbers rise on the front, supply problems further weaken the lines. Military losses are not limited to manpower. Equipment destructions are completely paralyzing Russian logistics. Over the course of the war, Russia has lost more than 10,000 armored vehicles and over 3,000 tanks, with tanks and armored vehicles turning into wreckage one after another in regions like Toretsk, convoys scattering. These losses are changing the front balance. When looking at financial damage, Russia's war cost has reached hundreds of billions of dollars by mid-2025, compounded by equipment losses in regions like Toretsk. Each destroyed tank means millions of dollars. Chain destructions of ammunition and fuel convoys multiply the financial burden, straining the economy. Monthly mobilized 50 to 60,000 soldiers, most untrained, suffer rapid losses. The psychological dimension is the most destructive. Russian soldiers are driven into assaults with insufficient preparation, ammunition shortages, and no reconnaissance attacks show losses as pre-accepted. Soldiers feel abandoned, leaving equipment, maps, and radios in retreats, bases abandoned in panic. This situation becomes evident in close-quarters combat, Russians cannot gain superiority, prisoners are interrogated, accelerating the intelligence cycle. Recent prisoner cases are spreading. These analyses show that Russian losses are creating a strategic collapse, front developments are affecting the overall course of the war, the Russian army continues to take heavy blows. We continue our news and analyses with these data. Don't forget, you watching on the screen, we are waiting for your supports. You need to support for Ukraine, for all humanity. Subscribe to the channel so we can share more real information. Let's meet in the comments. Remember, we are a family. State your opinions below, let's talk.